all of a sudden the standards are going down, and they're willing and open to go to middle class men because they realize everybody can't have that top of 5%, that high value man, because there's only a certain amount, especially black men, if they want to date black men and not looking to go outside of their race. So now everybody can't get that 5%. So now what do? Either we're gonna shack up together and be golden girls, or we're gonna figure this out and start accepting the middle class men and try to make a way out of it.
This just shows that marketing it worked, right? Like a lot of these women, when I see them today, I can't say I feel sorry for them, but I'm like, the great experiment worked, where we've got our women so married to the consumption of goods, the consumption of status, the consumption of work, and making companies, billions of dollars. It worked, right? It worked. So when I see this kind of thing, it makes me realize that it really didn't start with the women. It started with companies and corporations having a plan to leverage, on the dysfunction of Black people, and where we no longer see the intrinsic value in each other. Like, a man is what he looks like, what he comes with. This is why we have this whole concept of a man bringing something to the table, because we no longer see that it's valuable having a man at your table. So we just talk about the table and the stuff that's on it, because we no longer see the inherent value in each other. So the experiment worked. Corporations did a great job on our Black women being so married to stuff and to status, so much so that they are willing to spend years of their life gaining it while losing their men and losing the prospect of developing healthy children, Black families that they say that they love so much. So when I hear things like this, I'm like, it all worked. And then you compound that with their mamas probably pushed them into this as well. Girl, don't you let nobody get your womb. Girl, and what a lot of our parents do is they project their regrets on their daughters. So I wish I could have traveled when I was your age, so you go travel. I wish I would have waited. I love you and everything, but I wish I would have waited and did more things in life. And so our daughters are literally living the lives that their mothers wish that they could live. But the thing that's the issue is mothers never tell them the pain on the other side of that. Daughters are left to figure that out by themselves. So I feel in some way sorry for a lot of these women, because they're really doing what they were programmed to do, and it's going to take them getting until like their 40s or their 50s to look back in retrospect when their knees go bad and their options run out, to recognize that they probably made a mistake and not seeing the intrinsic value in their men.
You know what's crazy? I think, again, I have no problem with her wanting that, because like we all know, people tend to marry within a socioeconomic status. We know that without a shadow of a doubt. The problem is, and it speaks to what y'all were saying, the way that they're being raised is counterproductive to the things that they want. Like, if you want that, you're supposed to get that early, because you're supposed to find that guy early on when he's on his trajectory in that direction. And then by the time he reaches his full potential, you would have been married to him for 15, 20 years. The problem is that they're being told to go out there, get it on their own. Well, not necessarily get it on their own, but they go out, they get it on their own. They're independent, and then on the back end, that's when they're trying to find a husband, and they can't find them. And so it's literally counterproductive. Like, so she wants the man that owns the bus company. She wants the one that owns the bus. The bus. The problem is that you didn't get with him when he was just driving the bus. So now you're sitting at the finish line because you done got yours, and you looking at him saying, well, I want him because he got his. And he's like, well, I don't want you because I already got mine. So it doesn't mesh well. Our women are being raised to go counterproductive to what they would normally do.
Well, the sad part about it is that she's influencing another young generation of young women to shit on middle-class men. And that's all she's doing. She's teaching these women and showing these women how to shit on middle-class men. Yeah, you don't want to accept the average man until it's too late. And then when, like you said, when they get in their late 30s, early 40s, all of a sudden the standards are going down, and they're willing and open to go to middle-class men because they realize everybody can't have that top of 5%, that high value man, because there's only a certain amount, especially black men, if they want to date black men and not looking to go outside of their race. So now everybody can't get that 5%. So now what do? Either we're gonna shack up together and be golden girls, or we're gonna figure this out and start accepting the middle class men and try to make a way out of it. But that's not what she's teaching them. That's not what she's showing them. So,
it's a sad moment in our culture, in our society, when I hear comments on social media, especially on Clubhouse, that women talk down on plumbers, tradespeople.
They talking down on plumbers, bro.
I swear, I can't make this up.
They have no what?
I
teach my students that's one of the jobs that they need to be trying to go do.
But I know plumbers who are laughing their way to the bank. Yeah. Laughing, skipping, laughing, moonwalking to the bank.
You can charge whatever you want.
Exactly.
Crazy
but
out here.
You got to understand too, we live in a time now. This is where the switches happen. So it's not all women. Let's not say it. Not all but too many is the way I like to say it. So I think I heard it when I came back in. These jobs are not associated with status. So they don't get to be seen the way they want to be seen. That's it. So what black women have essentially done is price themselves out of market. You raise your standards too high without realizing that nobody has to meet them. Especially what I said, billions of other women are looking for that man. All right. So you can raise your standards all you want. I don't want plumbers. I don't want blue collar men. Men do not have to acquiesce at all. We can say thank you for your service. Go buy a dog. And literally, that was the buy a dog and die alone strategy. Go do that while I go look for a woman that appreciates everything that I do. Now, if there's a lot of similarities in the way Hispanic men and black men are represented in the blue collar workforce. Those women love working men. The Hispanic women do. Literally, they love the sand all over his clothes. They love that shit. So there's no way a black man can be doing that job, see that, and come home and get disrespected by his black woman when he's out here doing work that is the lifeblood of the American economy. They are the lifeblood. They don't understand that. They're now pissing and shitting on jobs that literally got us through the pandemic. All right. These people were working when people were sick. They were driving when people needed food. The lifeblood of the American economy. They don't want a man like that anymore. So they've raised their standards too high, and they don't realize that we don't gotta acquiesce and meet them.
And let's keep it real. She getting hauled out by a dude that makes less than a bus driver right now. I guarantee it. I guarantee you she's getting hauled out by a dude that earns less than a bus driver right now.
I disagree.
She definitely is.
I'm gonna tell you why. Like, a lot of women who talk like that are frustrated. And I don't see that. I see frustration. I see a woman who got it, who got the bag, who got some decent looks, and men don't want that no more. And so I don't want to go too deep and be disrespectful to her. But there are certain stores made for frustrated women, and I think that
you guys got to remember.
I think that that's what we're seeing. She's frustrated because she's not getting the results that she thought she would get.